Oh, so good in those tight spaces. At one stage, Donny van de Beek was very much the next up-and-coming product in world football, and in today's video we're going to be reminiscing on his time at Ajax and considering why things have gone wrong for him at Manchester United so far and whether or not he will get another opportunity under Erik ten Hag this season. Guys, welcome back to the Planet Football YouTube channel. Sit back and enjoy. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, do leave a like and do stick around and subscribe for some more regular footballing content. As always, any other players that you'd like to see us reacting to on the channel, do get them in the description down below. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this one and see just what Donny van de Beek was like back in his Ajax days. It is one of the craziest stories, Van de Beek. From going from such a high with this Ajax side to being completely cast out of that Manchester United team almost instantly upon signing for them. Obviously the most I got to see of Donny van de Beek was during that Champions League run that Ajax went on when they made it all the way to the semi-finals. I didn't get to see all too much of him in the Eredivisie, so this will be an interesting watch because we've seen next to nothing of him in the Premier League. And already that sort of spatial awareness, that quick link-up play, wiggling out of tight situations, and he did have a goal in his locker as well. I think he has got into double figures before for Ajax in terms of a league return with goals. Look at that agility in those central areas. He always finds a way to get out of those positions, doesn't he? And in those tight spaces, he is an absolute master. So cheeky, and the dribbling as well, the passing range and the vision. And keeps things simple a lot of the time. Why he was so effective in this Ajax squad, I reckon. They had a brilliant balance between their midfield around this time. And it's just perplexing watching back on a compilation like this how good he actually looked at his role, and the fact that Manchester United have looked so barren and so lacking of any creativity or spark in their midfield, and they've had a player like Donny van de Beek available at their disposal for the past few years and they've just not utilised him whatsoever. It's so perplexing, and making those last minute runs into the box as well. I totally take the point that it's, a different step up from, the Eredivisie to the Premier League. We've seen people fail to make that transition before. But I think there's more to it with Van de Beek. I really do think that a massive part of this and why he's not succeeded at Manchester United has been a confidence thing. His opportunities have been so few and far between that he's not had that natural process to go ahead and gel with the rest of the squad and have that natural fit into the side. And I am hopeful for his sake that he will get that opportunity again under Ten Hag in the Premier League. Because I don't buy the argument that a player can be this talented and completely drop off a cliff like that. I'm just not having it. Oh, so good in those tight spaces. And I know the different players, but if you compare this to, McTominay and what he's been offering up at Manchester United over the last 12 months, it's a different role to Fred as well, I get that, but Man United have been crying out for this sort of midfielder for the last 2 years and they've just not utilised him. Good at making those last runs into the box. But it's these little bits here which I'm most excited to see more of him. Those little turning circles, really effective. Impeccable finishing as well. Left foot, right foot can take you sort of either way. With that little turning circle, And he does have that defensive work rate as well to go ahead and win that ball back, more so with sort of clever positioning in terms of being in the right place at the right time, knowing when to go ahead and lunge in. You know, he's not going to be the answer to Manchester United's defensive problems with being a shield in front of the back four or anything like that, but to suggest he'd be too lightweight in that regard, I don't buy into that either. You can see him flying in with challenges and being that quite nippy player in and off the ball. I think the biggest thing that we've seen from a lot of these compilations as well, and something that has been massively lacking from this Manchester United midfield, is him actually offering for the ball in deep positions. How many times do we see it when a Manchester United centre-half is on the ball and they don't have the option to go forward into midfield because Fred's taken up by a player, McTominay's not offering himself for the ball, so they have to go out wide, pump it long, they end up losing the ball, and that invites more pressure onto themselves. It seems so simple, but a player like Donny is a fix to that. And I get with being that sort of player, you do, you know, add on to the risk of him losing the ball in the middle. And I totally get that, and that's probably been the case in some of his appearances for Manchester United, but I think there's more to come from him. There we have it though, guys. There was a quick splash of what Donny van de Beek was up to during his time at Ajax, and whether or not we may see that version of him once again in the Premier League under Erik ten Hag. I certainly hope so. I'm still holding out hope that we can see a transformed Donny van de Beek this season, but I want to know from you guys, what do you think of that? Guys, if you did go on to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and do stick around and subscribe for some regular footballing content. Apart from that though, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.